Here.
Commissioner Eichelberger, Deputy Controller Facchino.
Here.
Thank you, Jim. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, do we have a motion for approval of salary board action?
Move for approval.
No, second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval of minutes of the April 10 meetings or motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there any other business to be brought in front of the salary board? Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Adjourn. Please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Jen, can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Smith.
Present.
Commissioner Hertzler.
Here.
Commissioner Eichelberger.
Thank you, Jen. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, do we have a motion for approval of minutes of April 6th and April 10th?
Make a motion to approve the minutes April 6th and April 10th.
Second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the minutes? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval of personnel transactions. Is there a motion? Move for approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next we have employee recognition. Sherry Kowalitz.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
20 years of service.
Hi, Sherry. Sherry is celebrating her 20th year with the county. She was hired in April of '97 as a department clerk, one under children and youth, was then promoted just a few months later to department clerk 2, and about 9 months later to department clerk 3. In June of 2000, she transferred to the IT area as a tech support staff member. And then in February 2001, promoted to tech support staff 2. March of 2003, promoted to tech specialist 3. And in September of 2011, was promoted to IT manager. Sure can help with promotion. Congratulations. So we thank you for your years of service and your devotion to the Sherry. Mark, have anything to say?
A few words. Sherry's done pretty much every job in IMTO that we know of, so I rely on her a lot for her troubleshooting skills. She's one that will dig into problems and really dig until she does solve them and then come up with a good solution and implement those. So technically very skilled, but if you talk to Sherry, she will tell you that the most important thing to her is helping the end users, which are all of our county employees, to do their jobs better. So those two things combined, I think, make her a great service desk manager, and we're happy to have her on the team and be part of having her be part of the IMTO for the last 20 years, with the county for the last 20 years. So thanks for your dedication and service here.
Thank you.
Smile, Mark. It'll be you someday.
Not too far.
I think he'll make 20 years old.
They're great.
You need to make camera sounds, huh?
I know.
Nobody knows when you're
I
taking a
know.
picture.
Please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Sherry.
See you guys. Congratulations, Sherry.
We're still standing.
Yeah, we'll come back to that stuff. In the child ID system, looks like we have a donation from the Carlisle Regional Medical Center. Folks want to come up.
Don't be shy.
We have a whole bunch of folks here. Do you have something you want to say or do?
Take a picture, how you doing? I didn't even do that. I won't be involved. Well, I mean, here's your office. I didn't even do it. I feel bad Turn it over to me.
I guess I'm first. I'm Julianne Masterson. I'm the president of the Carlisle Area Healthcare Auxiliary. And Doris Rice is here with me. She's our first vice president, so she'll have my job pretty soon. We're here today just to discuss what we've been up to since 1916. We've been supporting the health and wellness of the Carlisle community, and I'm very proud of that. Last year in July, we celebrated our 100th anniversary, and we had a very successful gala. We raised lots of money, and some of that money went to community programs that we are supporting. We've been fortunate for the last 15 years or so, I believe, that's what I was told, that we've been partnering with the Sheriff's Office to provide a wonderful service to the community. That's the fingerprinting and photo identification initiative, and we did so for our annual, I believe it's called
Family Fun Safety Day.
Family Fun Day. Safety Day.
Yes.
Okay, excuse me. As well as our annual breakfast with Santa. We heard in 2015 that you were going to be unable to provide the service because your equipment was broken. So we thought that didn't sound right. We wanted to do something to help you. So we took the proceeds that we had earned from our gala and we donated them to pay a portion of the new equipment for you. We needed a partner to help us with the rest of it. So this guy stepped up, Carlisle Regional Medical Center, and so we partnered together, and we're so happy to be able to do this to bring the service back to the community where it belongs. It's much needed. Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, just from the hospital standpoint, as part of our mission to take care of the people of Cumberland County and the surrounding counties, and in this case, more particularly the kids, we were more than happy to partner with the auxiliary and the Sheriff's Department for this important initiative and this important program. So we're happy to be a part of it. Look forward to our next 100 years with the community, and hopefully we'll do more great stuff like this. So.
Can I get a quick picture?
You can get away without a picture.
That speech was pretty good. You guys ought to give money away more often. You got it now.
Get in line.
If
he's going, he better go down.
Yeah, great. Sure.
Back to item 7, the press release from Cumberland County, reminding citizens to take survey for input on the future of the county. Any questions or comments on the press release? Okay. Next is item 9, approval of the unanimous consent of the incorporators of Friends of Claremont Nursing and Rehab Center. Counselor Brennan.
Commissioners, this is a standard housekeeping document related to incorporating the entity, the Friends of Claremont Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. You're the incorporators who filed the Articles of Incorporation, and this is the document by which you establish some basic items for the corporation and pass the reins over to the directors that are named in the unanimous consent document. Yes.
Yes.
For approval on motion today.
All right, is there a motion?
I'll make it so moved.
Is there a second? I'll second. Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on the motion?
Yeah, just a couple of things. First of all, we had
received an update on this at the Claremont Nursing Home Review meeting earlier today. It was mentioned that the first organizational meeting is going to be conducted on Thursday. And then I asked the question as to whether or not the meeting had been advertised. And apparently we're going to go through the process. We're going to make sure that the meeting is advertised because that was part of the agreement. In addition to that, I'm not quite sure as to the agenda. I assume that they're going to go through a process of organization and choosing their officers on Thursday. But there should also be minutes, I believe, that are supposed to be taken at these meetings. And I would also suggest that this first meeting, in addition to being publicly advertised in the newspaper or whatever, that the notice of the meeting also be posted at the nursing home for any of the residents who might be interested in attending this first organizational meeting. So with those comments, if everybody's in agreement with that, certainly, this kind of brings a process along here. We've been talking about this for a while, and it's good to see it come to fruition. Oh, and I guess the other question I had was, so what do we still need, or what is still pending with respect to the IRS?
Bob DeGrossa has been working on that, I expect.
It's all been filed, it just takes a while to work its way through.
Okay. And the remaining portion of the funds that were from the bequest that we had received, the new board of directors now essentially will take responsibility for those funds.
Once you take action to transfer the funds to the entity, yes.
And that would be a separate action of this board at some point.
Yes, I would recommend that you do that after they organize, set up an account. And
So that would be after the IRS, does the final approval, I would assume, or?
it doesn't necessarily need to be, but I wouldn't,
We'll check with Bob on that, because there may be some bizarre stuff about the difference in tax status to receive it.
But those funds then will remain with the county until we authorize the transfer.
that's correct.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval of contracts and grants, items 10-1A, 10-2A through E is for motion for approval. Motions or second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval to award purchase of Craighead Bridge to Working Bridges in the amount of $1. Is there a motion?
Gentlemen, I'm sorry
Yes.
to interrupt. I'd ask that you table that.
Okay. Is there a motion to table?
Motion to table.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is, the item is tabled. Next, item 12, approval to award Cumberland County Green Lane Farms Bridge painting project to Niagara Coating Services, Inc. in the amount of $188,000. Is there a motion?
So,
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval of resolution 2017-14, which is the authorizing the acquisition and condemnation authority to take property for a public purpose under the eminent domain code related to the acquisition of rights of way or other property interest for the replacement of Boers Bridge, Hampton Township, Cumberland County, PA. Is there a motion?
I'll move for approval of the resolution.
Do we have a second?
second.
Any questions or comments on the motion?
Just on the record, I would just like to make sure that we also state that this eminent domain is a last resort here, and that the negotiations will continue with property owners to reach an appropriate settlement, hopefully that we don't need to go through the process of eminent domain.
Okay, please note that in the minutes. Any other comments or questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval of annual hazardous materials emergency response preparedness report. Is there a motion?
So moved.
section?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval of capital project request, DA Lab Old Prison. This is the replacement of a GC mass spectrometer. Total, I think it should say total project cost not to exceed $125,000.
That's correct.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second, any questions or comments on the motion?
Just one of the things I think we discussed at the workshop is that, with respect to, and I guess I'll ask our solicitor, but we talked about if there's a couple of vendors for this on the co-stars, that we don't necessarily pick either one, regardless of what the actual final bid price is. But I think there was a question as to whether or not that needs to come back to the commissioners for approval.
And based on what I've seen from finance, I don't believe it does. It's going to be done by purchase order, which is what CoStars requires, and under that purchase order arrangement, it does not come back to the commissioners.
That assumes that you've already given your approval to spend up to this amount.
Right.
But it could be not necessarily the lowest bid, or not necessarily the lowest price.
You are correct, and I believe the last meeting you made a point of indicating that if it's not the lowest bidder, there should be some justification given as to why they're heading that way.
Okay, so if we could follow through on that, so that we know why, if we're not going to the lowest cost.
And just one other quick point of clarification, further discussion on Thursday. I will be meeting with Eric, I believe, Wednesday this week to talk about the business model for the use of this in terms of potentially bringing in revenue from other parties interested in utilizing its services.
Good, that's good.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is approval of recommendation for appointment of Melissa McAllen to the Cumberland County Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board, commencing April 24th of this year and expiring December 31st of 2018. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval of general disbursements transfer authorizations, items 17A through G. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll report that we had an executive session on April 19th, 10 a.m., and April 20th, 10:45 a.m., both regarding personnel issues. Monthly reports accepted, register of wills for the month of March. Is there any other business to be brought in front of the board?
Just want to mention that
Yes.
the Aging Advisory Board meeting on Friday, and I'll get more of the particulars and share it with my colleagues, and also, make it available and discuss it at our next meeting. But one of our prize volunteers apparently won an award, for her service and dedication, and it amounts to a $5,000 grant to the county. So to be used for in that area for those purposes. So I'll get some more information back to the board. But I do think that once we get that in there, I do think that we want to recognize this individual for her volunteer efforts that have resulted in an award to her, which can be then used by the county. So it's a pretty big deal. I think it was from it's a Bravo group. I don't know. I'll find out more and we'll get back.
Very good. Any other business? Hearing none, is there a motion